some of my favorite PiYo moves. This first one is called the PiYo cross. So I'm rounding or flexing my spine and then extending the spine. And as I round my back, I'm going to separate the shoulders. As I extend the spine, I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together. This movement is very dynamic, so you'll notice I'm using my legs almost like in a moving plie. So I'm rounding my upper back and then extending. And what we're doing here is warming up your core and your legs at the same time. Now, this next position is called the PiYo flip. You want to start in a push-up position, lift one leg, and then take that foot and position it quite far over your body. So you kind of flip your leg over. You pull it as close or as far up towards your hips as possible. Then once you're in side plank, you lift that arm, extend it out to the side, and then slowly push your hips all the way up to the sky. So if I was to label this in steps, it would be first to start in push-up position, and then lift one leg, flip the leg over, you're landing on the ball of your foot, hold side plank for a moment, and then step 4 is to push your hips toward the sky, balancing weight in equal distribution of your 2 hands and your 1 foot. Now let's take a look at the PiYo flip from the front angle. So first you can see I lift my foot up, and then when I take that foot over, the further you have it over and the higher or closer to your head that you place your foot, the easier the PiYo flip is. So here I'm going to show you how I'm demonstrating it with kind of a narrow base. And I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really off balance and I'm about to fall in the pool. But if you take your feet really wide, if you think about when you do that flip, and here it is modified, if you take the foot as far over as you can reach, you've got a wider base, which gives you a better center of gravity and makes it really easy to push your hips up toward the sky. Now, in the modified position, this is better for someone who doesn't yet have the arm or wrist strength to support all of their weight while they're in that transition position. So you can practice that by starting on just one knee, and then once you get strong enough, you'll be able to do the whole thing on your toes. If I have just one tip for someone learning the PiYo flip, it's to get that foot that you're flipping over as far forward and as far to the side as possible, because it really helps with your balance. To call this exercise the runner's pose. And what you want to think of this is similar to a deadlift. So it really works your hamstrings and your glutes without placing the same kind of strain on your hamstrings or your lower back. So it's a very dynamic exercise and it really builds strength and balance. It looks like I've been drinking, doesn't it? But you can see my balance gets better as I start to focus on just one spot. So you want to practice that one. Now the beast is a pretty simple position. You start on your hands and knees and you just lift up onto your toes. But what most people don't realize is that your hips shouldn't move at all. So as you notice, I start on my knees, and then as I press back into the balls of my feet, the level of my hips relatively stays the same. I'm really forcing myself to engage the core to hold that position and stabilize. This is one of my favorite moves in PiYo. It's called a kick through. And you first want to master beast before moving on to the kick through. Now this looks a lot harder than it is, but if I walk you through this, I know you'll be able to master this move. So we start in beast, and then you'll notice that I lift the arm that's closest to the pool, and I kick the opposite leg through, and then back to beast. Kick the opposite leg. So when I lift one arm, the leg that's on the opposite side of my body kicks through and doesn't touch the floor. A way for a beginner to master this is simply by kicking that leg through, but just letting it rest on the floor. Now, for those of you who think you've mastered this move, here's what I want you to remember. If your head is pointing at, let's say, 12 o'clock, then you want to work to get your foot to kick through at about 2 o'clock. Not 3, not 4, not 5, but think about the dial on the clock. If your head is at 12 and your feet are pointing at 6, when you take that leg through and in front of you, I want you to aim for about 2 o'clock. Now, if you've got crazy abdominal strength, you're going to be able to take that foot almost up to, say, 12:30 or even 1 o'clock. There's your goal. Everybody needs them, and we get better by practicing. This exercise, we do a tuck and then extend. Now you want to resist the temptation to open up your hips or point your belly button to the side. And when you extend the leg up, you're getting a hamstring stretch by pointing your belly button straight down. So try to keep hips level. This exercise works the abs and the core as you tuck the knee in. And of course, the shoulders and triceps are getting an incredible strength workout, while at the same time, you're stretching the hamstring of the supporting leg. This exercise is called a connector, and we connect the ankles and then extend one leg up. I love this exercise so much because it's total body. You're going to get so strong and flexible all in one movement. So what I'm doing is connecting my ankles, and each time that I do that and I lower myself, I'm trying to handle more and more weight in my arms. So as I get stronger, I'm going to go lower by bending my elbows and doing a tricep push-up. So my thumb and my index finger are kind of pointed at each other and my elbows are pressing out. Now for beginners, the way you modify this is by simply not going as low. You don't put as much weight into your upper body. Instead, you bend your knees a little bit more and keep the weight in your legs. But as you gain upper body strength, you're going to feel how strong you are and how much more weight you can transfer forward onto your arms, onto your hands. And of course, as with all PiYo exercises, not only are you getting strong, but you're getting a cardiovascular workout and you're getting flexibility training. That hamstring is getting work overtime each time you extend the leg up. And at the same time, we're moving. So it's very functional, it's very fluid, and this is the way we love to get flexible, strong, and cardio all in one workout.